Hi everyone. Okay, I want to share some things that I found about Augustus Sol Invictus. And I was actually looking for his original name, his real name, the name he was born with. And there's just tons of stuff about him. He doesn't hide anything. And if you want to follow a Satanist or elect a Satanist and Saturn worshiper, he's your man, Augustus Sol Invictus, okay? This is his, hear ye my final words in peacetime. This is from a note, a full letter. You can read it on this page. I'll leave a link below. And he says, I have prophesied for years that I was born for a great war, that if I did not witness the coming of the Second American Civil War, I would begin it myself. Mark well, that day is fast coming upon you on the new moon of May. I shall disappear into the wilderness. I will return bearing revolution, or I will not return at all. War be unto the ends of the earth. Okay? Is that what people want? Okay, it's April. He's using Latin here. And Saturnus. Okay, and you can look up this word. I'll show you in a minute. And, Anton LaVey, who started the first Church of Satan in America, his name was Howard Stanton Levy. Okay, not so romantic, right? Anton LaVey. So we can guess that Augustus Sol Leviticus, Invictus, his name is probably something quite boring too. Anyway, this is from Above the Law, and this was back in April 2013, and so Augustus left this departure memo. And, he advocates, I don't know if he still does, I think he may have renounced it, but he advocates eugenics. If you're not perfect like he is, then get rid of you. If you're substandard. Okay, you have some sort of problem. So, let me see, he describes himself here somewhere. I think it's on another page. I'll show you. Okay, here. I am of genius, intellect, and cultured, well-educated and creative, well-mannered and refined. I am God's gift to humankind where the English language is concerned. And I also happen to have a basic knowledge of Latin, Greek, French, Spanish, and Italian. I am musical and artistic. I am athletic and possessed of militant self-discipline. And I am many other things. I have a Cadillac and a poodle, multiple computers, and a personal library. Okay, he wrote this when he's 29, I think. I live in an apartment downtown right across the street from the courthouse. I have been to Paris and Vancouver, to Cairo and Dubrovnik, to Mexico City and Syracuse. I dress better than all of you, pronounce my words perfectly, and have a winning professional handshake. I am everything you ever wanted to be. Wow, a bit arrogant, isn't he? So, okay, so he's calling for not only civil war in America, but war unto the ends of the earth. Okay, so let me show you something else just so you can get an idea. I want to read this whole thing right here. If you don't want to hear it, then I put the link below so you can go and read it for yourself, okay? Because I don't know how long it will take. A sacrificial goat in every pot. Yes, he did sacrifice a goat and drink the blood. And, now that we have Baphomet statues in America with children looking up to it lovingly, I mean, anything goes in America now. Okay, so here's the word, and probably pronounce this as a U, I would think. Saturnus, and it's all about Saturn. So, this is who he's following. This is who he's a braggart. He's arrogant. He wants war. all over the earth. I think most of us want peace, right? Anyway, he's been prophesying, like you said, for years about civil war in America. So when this stuff happened in Oregon, of course he's going to jump right in and see this as an opportunity. And you know what Lenin said, the best way to control the opposition is to lead it. All right, so sacrificial goat in every pot. Now this guy right here, Matthew Walter, he spoke to him on the phone. So this is a first-hand account interview with Augustus Sol Invictus, which means, you know, like great everlasting sun or something like that. Sun worship. This is all about sun worship, Saturn worship, arrogance, superiority, competition with the Holy Creator. It really is, in my opinion, a spiritual world, and this is our war. You know, we all have a battle within us, right? Mental battle, a life battle, getting along, you know, making it, shedding off all the brainwashing, coming to various truths in our life that will give us peace, love, joy. I mean, for me, it is following Jesus of Nazareth. No fake Jesuses or denominations. You know, there are 3,000 denominations of so-called Christianity, and people will always throw this back at you like, well, Christians killed all these people in history. And yes, they did. But were they really following the words of Jesus Christ? No, they were following some doctrine of men and some political manifestation of Christianity to achieve some power goal and control goal. Anyway, so here this is a sacrificial goat in every pot, the enigma of Florida Senate candidate Augustus Sol Invictus. Augustus Sol Invictus, even when you just say that, it's like you're declaring something grand, you know? First made headlines last month when the Associated Press reported that the Orlando-based attorney seeking the Libertarian Party nomination for the Senate seat held by Marco Rubio had ritually slaughtered a goat. I did sacrifice a goat, Invictus told the AP, adding that the avowed act of sorcery was probably a quibble in the mind of most Americans. Yeah, nobody cares, right? This is true, not least of the American magical community. When I asked the Covenant of the Goddess, one of America's oldest and most respected pagan bodies, about Invictus, I was directed to the group's Florida Council. So I didn't know about the Covenant of the Goddess, and I'm glad to know about it, because I haven't heard of it before. I really want to be in touch with everything, you know, as much as I can, so I can understand what's going on. I'm familiar with the person in question, or I am unfamiliar with the person in question or his campaign, said Gordon Stone, a spokesman for the Covenant. Anne Marie of the Florida Pagan Gathering told me that similar rites would not be observed in the group's celebration of the ancient Celtic harvest festival of Samhain. I can assure you that there are no animal sacrifices of the Florida Pagan Gathering, and that there never will be. But there are with other groups, you know. There are animal sacrifices with other Satanists and even the Santeria practicing people. They all practice animal sacrifice. And police find evidence of animal sacrifice all the time, but they don't really want to advertise it so they don't scare people. This is what I've read. They've found ponies sacrificed. They've found chickens, smaller animals, goats, but I mean, even a pony. Some of these people will take your pet out of the yard if you have like a goat or something, so be careful of that. It's not just wizards and vegetarians. PETA has also called Invictus actions bloody and cruel that are put out. When Adrian Willey, the former chairman of the Libertarian Party of Florida, resigned last month, he put out a statement accusing Invictus, whose full name, not the one on his birth certificate, translates to great or revered unconquerable sun. Sounds like sun worship, don't you think? And of support for neo-Nazism, civil war, and the phasing out of the weakest, the least intelligent, and the most diseased. Okay? Phasing out. Okay, so if you're challenged in some ways, he doesn't need you, and you'll be phased out, okay? And in a separate message released a few weeks ago, the party condemned Invictus Senate platform. The Libertarian Party of Florida finds the initiation of violence through his call for civil war and state-sponsored murder abhorrent. Okay, state-sponsored murder is eugenics. These platform issues are diametrically opposed to the principles of the Libertarian Party of Florida. The party's current leadership is not happy with him either. I believe that Invictus' campaign has no future hope of association with the party let alone assistance in any form. Charles Braden, the new chairman, told me. Okay, the reason I'm reading this is so that you can get an idea about the character and who this person is, okay? Augustus Sol Invictus. That's why I'm reading this. I've read it already, but sometimes I like to read things twice so I can really, kind of get things I missed in the first reading. Invictus was happy to discuss Hircine slaughter. Hircine is goat-related slaughter. The Florida Party, Nietzsche, Zeus, LSD, the legitimacy of the federal government, and many other subjects on the telephone after I called his law office and was given his cell phone number. It was difficult to know where to begin. His paganism is only one of many remarkable things about him. Invictus was born in the Sunshine State in 1983 to a libertarian father who was also deeply religious. As an undergraduate majoring in philosophy at the University of South Florida, Invictus founded the Freethinkers, a group of students with unique religious perspectives. I had very Christian, very tyrannical parents. Substitute Catholic right here. He told a reporter from the Oracle, the student newspaper there, in 2008. I was forced to go to church all the time, Invictus said his parents used to steal my books and my CDs and throw them away, and called the Bible, which he claimed to have read at the age of 13, immoral. His maverick reputation seems to have followed him to the DePaul School of Law in Chicago, where he was involved with the school's International Human Rights Law Institute. An acquaintance, speaking on condition of anonymity, told me that during his time at DePaul, Invictus did not appear to practice paganism or espouse libertarian beliefs. The source said that Invictus had a fascination with Nazism and denied the historical account of the Holocaust. He also took what the source called a dim view of women. Yeah, I got that a lot, and I don't understand why, Invictus said when I asked about these claims. I have 2 daughters, I have a fiance, I'm a pagan, I worship the goddess, so I don't know where the stuff comes from. I'm the last person on earth who would be sexist. What about the Nazi stuff? There was a rogue agent there, he said, suggesting that he offended a female intern who later decided to embarrass him when he stood for the Florida Bar Association by dredging up an essay of his on the upside of state-sponsored eugenics programs. He told me that he no longer advocates state-sponsored eugenics and expressed his frustration with the fact that members of the Florida libertarian establishment have taken exception to his essay. Okay, so his views are changing. It was 6 or 7 years ago that I wrote that, he said. They just won't listen. In response to criticism from members of his party, he has uploaded the essay to his LinkedIn page and written a new introduction to it. He says he's been misunderstood. The course of Invictus' legal career is easier to trace than his intellectual and spiritual development of his personal life. After being admitted to the bar in Florida and New York in 2012 and in Illinois and Massachusetts in 2013, he founded Imperium, a general practice law firm that now has 2 partners. According to the firm's website, his own current legal areas of expertise include drug trafficking and terrorism. Last year, he successfully handled the appeal of Marcos Viola the leader of a neo-Nazi group who faced life in prison after being convicted of multiple domestic terrorism charges. Viola ended up serving a 6-month sentence in county jail. Wow, he really got his sentencing reduced. In April 2013, Invictus' name turned up on a handful of legal blogs where an open letter he addressed to graduates DePaul was traded as a curiosity, inviting his former classmates to witness ye the glory of my life at 29 years of age. He declared himself a genius. Okay, this is what I just read you before. And so, that goes on. What about the God of the wilderness? Was he appeased by his act of sorcery? Okay, he went to the Mojave Desert, okay? He gave up everything in this letter also. He renounced his law degree, membership in the Catholic Church, his possessions, and his U.S. citizenship. Okay, it was sometime after the composition of this letter that he made an arduous journey walking from central Florida to the Mojave Desert, a trip that was the occasion for the ritual sacrifice that brought him into the headlines last month. Well, maybe he did that also to get attention. I saw some headline that said I sacrificed a goat in the Mojave Desert. He told me that's not true. It was after I returned to Florida. He said he killed and consumed the goat upon his homecoming in act of thanksgiving meant to propitiate an entity he referred to as the God of the wilderness. I'm a city boy, he said. I was tickled pink to be alive, and you give thanks to the gods when something like that happens. Invictus admitted that animal sacrifice is not a common practice. He also questioned the pagan credentials of those who have disavowed it. So questions, that's like challenging the pagan credentials. It is controversial and it is not commonplace. That I will admit, he said. There is, however, this trend in paganism that I don't think speaks for actual paganism. They're afraid of history. I think they don't want a witch hunt. So it seems that he advocates animal sacrifice and he's putting down people who don't practice it, and like their paganism is not genuine. So Invictus announced his Senate candidacy 6 months ago in a YouTube video entitled A Call for Total Insurrection. So you see, he loves this, what's happening in Oregon, and could co-opt in a way what's happening so that he can, be part of this civil war. Okay, I really can't read this whole thing because it's getting too long here. But here is a video where you can listen to him, and he's Senate candidate sacrifice goat. Okay, so I didn't read a lot. I read to about here the call for total insurrection, and either he is looked upon like by the FBI and NSA and all those people, CIA, as someone to watch out for, or else they love him to create the chaos that they want in the world. Okay, now another one is this video. So I've watched most of it, and because I was, I never did find his real name, but look, he looks a bit like oh, what's the Mormon guy running? I mean, he looks very conservative and paternal, in this sweater and tie and leaning back in the chair like this, authoritative. He's probably going to get followers for sure. So this was back in May 21, 2015. We got lots of comments here. Here's a comment from Mark Dice. Waiting for him to claim he's Aleister Crowley reincarnated. Why does he sound like he has an accent from the 1800s? He's probably possessed. Plato's predicted strongman, a Hitler in the making. This is a very dangerous guy. Okay, that's 3 months ago. So who knows? You have to make your own opinion. For me, you know, these people are, these are like dark people, follow darkness, and compared to the living God and the Creator and what Jesus Christ of Nazareth stands for, he's like a cockroach. So Augustus, Sol Invictus, sun worshipping Satanist, Saturn, showing allegiance to Saturn. You decide. Thanks for watching. God bless everyone. We're all just here, trying to find our way. But I'm sticking close to the Holy Spirit for guidance and the knowledge that I need to have to maneuver through these landmines and minefields of politics, social situation, and just getting through life till the end. Anyway, God bless everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I pray that everyone finds peace in their hearts. And their minds. This is the most important thing. Sound mind, calm spirit. Bye for now.